the technical foul was called on Nowitzki. The foul was on Haywood. Ginobili goes out of the game having scored 18 on 3 threes. So the technical is on Dirk Nowitzki. And Parker will come in. Parker is in there with Hill.
Dick, just to clear it up for our viewers, there was no flagrant on it. Just so simply, Nowitzki was very upset because he was not given the foul call at the other end of the floor.
Ooh.
Nowitzki's got a little too much to say. The official doesn't want to hear it. He gets hit with the technical, and now Jefferson shoots the 2 free throws from the foul.
It's a 20-point lead for the Spurs, 80-60, with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third.
You never would have expected this with the energy in Game 1 from this building, with the teams being so close to each other. We thought at the end of Game 1 that San Antonio had lost by 15 or 18. That's what it felt like, yet it's only a 6-point loss for them. They come back here, Terry hits a jump shot, and you've got yourself an 18-point game.
And that's the story with the San Antonio Spurs. You're absolutely right, Mike, because you wonder whether this is the last stand with those 3 veterans. Can they make a challenge of this? And the fact is, they've made it more of a challenge. And the Mavericks faces tell the story against a veteran team that's been around these playoffs for ages. Once again.
And he's found a number of different ways to score tonight, whether it be quick offensive rebounds or that little fadeaway jumper that he loves to play. Duncan just is steady.
It's time for Taste Greatness, presented by Miller Lite. And what a glittering career for Tim Duncan. And Tim Duncan, ever since he's been with the Spurs, they've gone on to the playoffs, 13 years, 2-time NBA MVP, 12 straight All-Star games. On April the 25th, he will turn 34 years of age.
And it just seems like it was made to be. The organization, the franchise, the community, the owner, Peter Holt, the head coach, Greg Popovich, and Tim Duncan. It just all blended from the beginning, like it was supposed to be, Dick.
So it's Hill at the backcourt, along with Parker. Matt Bonner is in, Jefferson and McDyess as well. Under 3 minutes to play in the third. Jefferson loses the ball. Butler knocked it away. Curry had it. Here's the break with Nowitzki with the layup. Dirk Nowitzki, and that's Maverick style of basketball.
Yeah, and it looked to me as if Caron Butler may have gotten Jefferson across his wrist that time, but no call. You just got to play on.
So it's 16 points. George Hill finds Bonner. 4 on the shot clock. And the Spurs will lose it again. So the Mavericks offensive foul is called against George Hill. The crowd was yelling defense, and they're getting it right now.
And remember, you talked about turnovers a short time ago. All of a sudden, they come back-to-back turnovers, and you're giving Dallas a chance to get themselves back in the game. Remember, this unit on the floor for the Spurs is supposed to buy time while Duncan's out.
It is wrapped up by Hill. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. Nowitzki against McDyess. And we'll go to the line as McDyess, who's been the primary defender on Nowitzki, commits the foul.
One of the things was don't put Nowitzki on the line as many times as game number 1. 12 for 12 in game number 1. He's just 3 of 4 tonight.
Well, Sunday, MLB on TBS returns, and it'll be 2 o'clock Sunday with the Milwaukee Brewers going against the Chicago Cubs. Tune in as the teams battle to climb the NL Central standings. That's this Sunday on TBS. And Tim Duncan back into the game, as is Manu Ginobili, as Hill and McDyess sit down.
And, you know, finishing quarters is so important. That last minute and a half to 2 minutes, teams make a run, they take momentum into those timeouts, and Popovich putting back Ginobili and Duncan, as you mentioned. He does not want Dallas going in at that quarter with the crowd on their feet, standing there yelling. He's got 2 key guys back on the floor.
Duncan in the lane, off the mark, Nowitzki.
There's no question that Dallas's defense has picked up here.
Yes.
They're much more aggressive. They're up into their people. They're challenging the shots much harder.
There is Dirk Nowitzki to Kidd. Kidd hitting a three. Jason Kidd with his first field goal of the game. And it's an 11-point game on a 9-0 Dallas run. Nearly a minute remaining in the third. And this crowd on its feet, and it's been a while for that. Here is Parker going behind to Bonner. Here's Ginobili driving to the basket and taken away by Kidd. Terry with a three. Nowitzki stripped away. Dallas still has it. It'll be Terry again. Snaps a 12-0 Dallas run.
Tony Parker not afraid to take and makes a huge shot for the Spurs.
But the Mavericks back in the game. And what Greg Popovich wanted to do by bringing in Ginobili and Duncan, Dallas still will have the momentum at the end of this quarter. Nowitzki against Bonner. Haywood with the tip. Doesn't go. And that'll do it for the third quarter as the Mavericks had a chance to cut it to 8. But this crowd is hopeful at this point.
Momentum has shifted. Crowd on its feet. You can make your way back from just 10 points down.
Back in Dallas, where the Spurs lead has been cut to 10 as we start the fourth quarter. Here's Marty Snyder with Rick Carlisle.
With Rick Carlisle. And Rick, what changed there? You jump back into the game.
Well, we got some stops, and we're able to get in transition. We got to get some more consistency on defense and finish off possessions with rebounds, and we'll give ourselves a chance.
You and I talked about maybe being more physical in the second half. Is that what happened on defense? Seems like it picked up.
Well, we got more aggressive, and again, we finish off plays, so we get the ball, and that's a big help.
Thanks, Rick. Dick?
So the Mavericks in 3:05 cut the Spurs lead of 20-10, but Tim Duncan starts the fourth quarter scoring with a field goal now with 17.
When you have a 20-point lead, suddenly it's cut into. You cut it right in half. You go into that timeout, and you say to the team, okay, look, you've got 12 minutes now to make up 10 points. You just knocked 10 off in about 4 minutes.
Jefferson with Bonner the rebound. Opening minute of the fourth quarter, Dick Stockton, Mike Fratello, and Marty Snyder, and Ginobili off the rim. And here comes Dallas coming back. Mavericks, what a great comeback this could be to give them a 2-0 lead on the home court, and the three-point attempt missed by Butler comes out to Kidd. Now Nowitzki turn around and a quick shot. So Dallas ice cold to start this fourth quarter. And here is Tony Parker, not going to challenge Dirk. And reaching in, Caron Butler with the foul on Parker, and that'll be Butler's third.
You know, Dick, even with the little run that Dallas had to cut it back to 10 points, it just seems like they never can get away from that 35-37% shooting where San Antonio has held them the entire evening. That was the staple of San Antonio defense for years. They're always number one in defensive field goal percentage. They would hold people to 41, 42%. This is 37 basically for the game.
And on the other side, they're shooting 50% in this game and wound up game one shooting 50%. Bonner with a three-point attempt. So a 12-point deficit, and the Mavericks looking for their first basket of this fourth quarter. Nowitzki backing in against Bonner. And it goes through. Look at the reaction of Nowitzki. First basket for Dallas, and again a 10-point game. Tony Parker. And the quick three-point basket by Hill. So George Hill, who did not score in game one, playing just the first half and had only 2 points, coming into this fourth quarter, hits a huge three, his first field goal of the series.